Hi, everybody, and we are live with the Queen's Council call. Welcome. It's Thursday. This is weird for me. I'm like, it's the end of my week. No, it's not. So we're moving these to Thursday just because it works better, I think, for a lot of women business owners who are like, I'm done by 4 o'clock on Friday. I don't even want to look at anybody by that time. So this will work, right? So really, really glad to have you all here. We've got Joanne, who will be training today, and CJ and Tracy Sealing.
Yeah. Trying to get situated with the Wi-Fi. I am having not a lot of luck.
Gotcha. Well, I think you'll be fine. Hopefully, you'll be fine. I'm going to go take a look at us and make sure that we're live on Facebook in the group. Blah, blah, blah.
Well, we're definitely live on Facebook because I see us.
Yay!
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 There we go. Awesome. So yay, there we are. Let's make sure that we start out with our questions 3. So CJ, since you haven't been here in a while, we're going to start with you. All righty? That way also, if you feel like you've hit a wall at any point during today's show, you can just go to bed. It's fine. We love you. Okay?
I wish I could go to bed, but I have another show at 8.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's a busy night.
Right. Yeah. All right. So the questions 3 are, what is your magic? Wait. What is your rum? What is your magic? And what is your beverage?
Okay, I was writing it down so I won't forget. My brain's a little out there. Okay, so my realm is the realm of make-believe. And my magic is bringing stories to life in front of your page, in front of your face, based off of whatever we see. And my beverage is water.
Good job. Good job. Or chicken soup is good too. You know.
Yeah, I did
saying.
some chicken noodle soup for lunch. Yeah.
Ooh.
That's good. Awesome stuff. All right. So I'm going to actually put this question as an add-on for everybody too at the beginning, so that we don't miss out on time to do it at the end. But do you have any current offerings, launches, whatever, that you would like some street team support from the council?
For me, current offerings or launches, we are launching the Author's Porch magazine July 1st. So if anybody has an article that they would like to write that is around literary items, literacy, or if they need an advertising platform, it is a brand new magazine. It is our first publication. It will be online. It will be quarterly for the first year, and we will kind of see how things go. And we're always looking for authors, editors, and anyone in the literary world that would like to come and talk about their art and talk about what it is to get their story out there, because everybody has a story and we want to hear everybody's story, because when we connect with human beings, that's how we bring humanity back into humanity, basically.
That's awesome. Awesome stuff. Okay, cool. Are you paying anything for people who write for the magazine?
If you write an article, no. What you're getting is free advertisement space as an offset for writing an article for the magazine. So that is our thank you to you by bringing your wonderful literary talents to the magazine. But if you want to advertise, there is just for advertisement purposes, all on its own, not writing an article, there is a fee for advertisement, and they can message or they can shoot an email to the authorsporch@gmail.com, and I can send them the advertisement fees.
Oh, fabulous. Okay, great. So let me clarify, or not clarify, but make sure I've got it straight. So you're not paying for anyone to publish an article, but if they do, they get advertising space as kind of compensation in kind. And then you also have space that people can just buy advertising.
That is correct. Yes, it is our first publication, so we are kind of filling the waters out and making sure that we are providing spaces for people who would like to try their hand in writing articles for magazines. I have my editor-in-chief who we were going to wait till November to launch, and she said, no, let's do it in July. And I was like, oh, okay. So we are launching in July, and my editor-in-chief, everything is due by the 10th of June. We are on a short deadline, so I can get it to her and we can have it ready to publish and out to everybody on our website, our newsletter, and wide by the 1st of July.
Awesome. Awesome stuff. Thank you. All right. Joanne, I'm not quite sure why you keep popping out of the stream. Are you shutting yourself off?
No, it keeps shutting me off. Marguerite.
Woohoo! Yes, exactly.
I'm doing magic. I disappear and then I reappear.
Right.
Let's all send out some really strong energy that this time I stay on and stay connected. How about we all just send that energy out to all of us?
Yes. Awesome. Awesome.
Yes.
Yes.
All right, Miss Tracy, what is your realm? What is your magic? And what is your beverage?
My realm is in the kitchen, and the magic is what I create in there, specifically with my shortbread cookies. And this evening, I am drinking some Jim Beam with cherry boulet.
Ooh, really? Does that work? Like a dark whiskey like that with
Shockingly,
cherry boulet?
it does.
Okay.
Yes,
I'll have to put that to the test.
It's far more cherry boulet than whiskey, but
So it kind of just tastes like cough syrup. Just kidding.
not quite. No,
like a Ludens?
It's a little bit sweet, and yeah,
like a Ludens?
a little bit. Yes, actually, a little bit like a Ludens. Yeah, yep.
Awesome.
I would give it a go. I wasn't sure, but it's like, yeah, okay. I have to work on my resume so I can apply for a job this evening, so I couldn't have too much Jim.
Gotcha. So, job search, what kind of launches or promotions do you have that you could use our support with?
Nothing particular on the shortbread realm this weekend. Mom and I are going to be up in Old Orchard Beach peddling predominantly her wares, and I'm going to have my shortbread there. So hopefully I'll sell out of all of my shortbread that I'm bringing with me, and then some good energy for getting the job I'm applying for tonight.
Awesome. Well, we will all support you in sending you good juju and ease for getting the job that you're applying for tonight. That work?
Thank you.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right, Miss Joanne, what is your realm? What is your magic? And what is your beverage?
Well, I'm going to be boring. I have water with some lemon.
Hey, you got to spice up more than CJ.
Yes. And my realm is, well, although I'm in the kitchen, my realm is actually my weight room. And my magic is healing. Healing, the moment I set eyes on you, the moment I set hands on you, I'm getting your energy going and shifting and hopefully taking you to a transformation. So there I am.
Nice. And your beverage is water. Is there any current launches or promotions that you could use the support and street team of the council?
I would say, yeah. I think there's just a promotion right now. I'm promoting 3 and 12 card readings, cosmic energy soul readings. So anyone who's interested, 3 card readings, they get them right now for $88 and 12 card for $155. So anyone who's interested, I'm definitely setting up some times for it, mostly on Wednesdays. And definitely throughout the entire Mercury retrograde. So that should be fun.
Yeah, that'll be awesome. Okay, so 8 card is how much?
3 card is 88.
Okay.
And 12 card is 155.
Okay.
I know it's a big range from 3 to 12. But
Right.
yeah.
Oh, it just makes the 12 card a much better deal.
Of course. And you
Right.
get so much more from the 12 card.
Yeah, that is very, very true. And you are very gifted with the cards, just really on target. But I imagine that helps that you created your own deck.
Yeah, I think that plays a huge role. I've been told by many who have given that I've given card readings to, who read cards from other designers, other creators, that it really does play a big magic part to it when the actual reader is working with their own deck. So yeah, there's a lot of magic that goes into my deck.
Yeah, I know that firsthand. That's absolutely true. All right, well, let me introduce myself, and then we'll get right into Joanne's training. My name is Gail. My realm is recovery from childhood trauma, and my magic is I make the nightmares go away. And my beverage is a little bit of vodka with a lot of peach juice. So it's kind of like I was trying to think of what I would call it, because if you put champagne with peach juice, it's a Bellini, right?
Mm.
So, but if you put vodka with orange juice, it's a screwdriver. So I'm thinking that this is just an emoji screw.
Yeah.
I don't know. So what I could use some support with is I am formulating a membership group, and we're working on a bunch of stuff for 3 Crones in the Woo Woo website, other little trinkets that need to go out and for products and stuff. So at this point, I need your mind energy for ease and clarity on exactly what we need to take action on, what we don't need to take action on, and maybe a little bit of magnetic attraction for people that want to walk the journey of finding their way out of the Black Forest with me.
Awesome.
Right?
Awesome. And what I like to do for you, Gail, putting you on the spot, put together a flyer for me regarding what you just said, and I will display that on the TV show on a weekly basis.
Oh, fantastic. We have a flyer for 3 Crones with a QR code on it. Can I give you that?
Yeah, whatever works, whatever you want to send, just send me a flyer. And if you can get it to me by, we'll say tomorrow, I can get it on this weekend's show and start it from there. Otherwise, next week would be fine too.
Perfect. I'll get it over to you after this. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. Anything for you. You know that.
I love you. Okay, cool. All right, then let me introduce the lady of the hour. We were talking, both Joanne and I are students of astrology. We're not astrologers. We don't know everything about it. We don't know how every level of everything interacts with each other. But since I've been working with and talking to Joanne for the last year, I've come to understand that I actually kind of do better during retrograde season than other people tend to do. And I attribute that to somebody telling me a few years ago, look, Mercury retrograde is really good for going back and editing. And as a writer, I got that, right? Like it's for moving your projects along and going back and reviewing and reflecting. And does this communicate what I want it to, and so on. It's really great for that if you can do that kind of work during Mercury retrograde. But I also noticed for myself that even when the other planets went retrograde, it seemed to get better for me, and I got really curious about that. So I wanted Joanne to talk to us a little bit about what the retrograde energy is of each planet that's going retrograde during the month of June, so that we can surf the wave instead of being slammed down into the beach, right? So with that little bit of introduction, I will give Joanne the floor and she can empower us.
All right. So I love the fact, Gail, that you mentioned, oh, where'd we go? There we go. I love the fact that you mentioned, I'm like, what happens, everybody? I love the fact that you mentioned, I'm like, this Mercury is really going to get the hell out of me. But I love the fact that you mentioned that when Mercury goes retrograde, that you actually get motivated to do the work that you're doing, editing, anything that involves any type of technology or communication or even brainstorming for that matter, where many people fall into the thought process of it being a heavy energy and that conversations are going to get lost or conversations are going to get misinterpreted. And we put this negative spin on any type of retrograde. And it can be negative when you have the thought process of it being negative. But if you change your mindset of, as Gail said, the whole concept of using these retrogrades, whether it be the Mercury, whether it be Pluto, Saturn, and the other two that's going to be showing up towards the end of June, which would be Neptune and Jupiter, using these retrogrades to actually help you along. But in order for you to use these retrogrades to help you along, you do need to understand each planet's purpose, what zodiac sign the planet is retrograde in, and how that zodiac sign is influencing your specific personal natal chart. And then once you have that, then you can really have an understanding and a theme to what each retrograde is going to help you with. Now, what I've come to learn on my own today after researching that each planet that is in retrograde is really helping the other planet as well. So when you bring all five, so to speak, planets together that's in retrograde, they're really helping each other. So it's not like you're going to have 5 different themes. It's one theme that's going to focus on whether it be communication, which is Mercury, Jupiter, which is expansion, Pluto, which is like clearing out all the dust webs for that matter, Saturn, which is about the whole process of our karmic energy. And then we have Neptune, which is all about our deepest desires. So you bring all that together, understanding your zodiac sign, your chart, and that particular theme that it's connecting to and what area. So it could be connecting to your business. It could be connecting to your health. It could be connecting to your intimate relationships, your fame, your travel, your children, your parents, your siblings. Or for those of you who are really lucky, and I use that being really funny, it could be a combination of everything. Which, from my point of view, and what I mean by that, just to throw in just a little bit of a numerology in here, if someone is working with a personal energy year of 9, which is a combination of 1 to 8, all those energies coming together, that particular person probably are going to have a whirlwind of all 5 retrogrades focusing on a lot of different areas in their life, which is go ahead.
No, I want to kind of, I don't know what's going on with the sound. Sorry. I wanted to kind of break in because that's a really, really good point to this too. So for the couple people we've got here, do you know what your personal year is? CJ, do you know?
No, I downloaded the app and I forgot.
Yeah, this is separate. No, this is separate from the app regardless. So, and then Tracy, answer me verbally. Do you know what your personal year is? Or in private chat? Yeah, you do? Okay, great. So Joanne, would you help CJ find out what her personal year is?
Ago.
Yes.
1 or 3 is sticking in my mind.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, so listen to what Joanne says and figure out if it's 1 or 3.
Yes. So, CJ, if you can share with me, or for that matter, just to make it easy for everybody, if you can just take your month and your date that you were born on, just those 2 numbers, add that together first. Now, I just want to point out, if your birthday happens to be on the 11th or 22nd, when adding, make sure you keep those numbers together. So if your birthday or even month is in November, you want to add it as 11 plus whatever the number is. If you have single digits, that's fine, if that makes sense. Did I confuse anybody right there? Hopefully not.
Well, I don't do public math, and I'm very horrible at it, but my birth month is 9 and the day is 30. So,
Okay, thank you. CJ,
yeah.
right?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, that's what
That's
CJ.
right.
I got you. I got you covered. I got you covered, CJ. CJ, you are in a personal 8 energy. So theoretically, in reference to what I just said about all the planets and having this whirlwind of transformation, you're an 8. So if hypothetically all these planets go retrograde next year at this time, you're going to have your whirlwind then. So hold on to that and know that that's what's coming for you next year. As for an 8 energy, it's a very different vibration than 9. And unless we want this to be more of a numerology conversation, I'm just going to keep you there. So that's up to
put a pin in it, CJ, and come back to Joanne later because you will be really amazed what she can tell. But she can tell you what this year's going to be like, and with an 8, you're going to want to know.
Yes, yes. And just really quickly with the 8 energy, based on all the different retrogrades that we have going for CJ, that 8 energy is really about the abundance, the harmony, the balance, the karmic lessons, your achievements, and your awards. So now if you take all that information, and then when we really start looking at the natal chart where each of these planets sit on your chart, then you really get the navigation to what direction you're going in for this particular year. And we can get into, and I don't think we're going to get into every actual planet because I think we only have an hour here, but we could definitely focus in on one planet for each and every one who's here with us tonight to get specific. And then if they really want to know more, they can reach out to me personally and I can give them that information. So it's up to them.
I mean, I'll learn anything that you tell me. You know me, I've listened to everything you said from the moment we've met. So, I mean, you know me, I'm just all in for anything, but I don't want to take up everybody's moments. So I'll just let the thing go around and around.
Awesome. And what we'll do is once Tracy gives me her birthday information, then I can let her know what her personal energy year is for this year. And then we'll, Gail, you know yours. We've done this already with you, but do you want to do? What's going on? There's a lot of movement going on the screen. Is this Mercury just playing tricks on me?
It's musical chairs on StreamYard.
Oh my goodness gracious. Gail, what are you doing to me? Did we lose Gail?
Wait, she needs another drink. You're muted, Gail.
I'm muted on the microphone. I'm like looking at the screen going, I'm muted. What's going on here?
This is like comedy hour.
Oh, yeah. Mercury is just, I'm going to slap that little winged hat off his freaking head.
I'll have what she's drinking, please.
Right? Give me an emoji screw, bartender. Yeah. Wow. Those really have a kick. Yeah. Okay, so what was the question again, Joanne? My personal year?
The question was, being that you already know yours, do you want to go over it while we're here on the show?
Yes.
Because we can.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
So again, just give me your month and day from your actually. I don't need your month and day because I know what yours is because you have the same one as me. You and I are both 3.
Yes.
Yes, and what that really means in numerology, it's all about what we are doing. We're communicating, we are creating, we are learning, and we are teaching, and that's what we're really doing. We're networking, we're brainstorming, we're in creative mode. We are in, which is really funny. I actually learned this last night during the class I'm taking. We are in high vibe of our masculine energy because we are always in creative mode.
That makes sense of a lot of things.
Yeah. So you and I need to start stepping into our feminine energy some more in reference to making sure we really relax and ask for support. So it's really good that you asked all of us how, where we can be supported. So it gives us permission to step into our feminine as well. Has absolutely nothing, well, it does have to do with the three, because again, the three is all about how we are in creative mode. We are constantly creating. I mean, I don't know, out of the two of us, which one of us creates more, you or me, but we're constantly in creative mode.
You create far more than me. I just sit here, meditate, and let the work get done.
Then you have a genie you're working with, because you have a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes. So
Yes,
I don't have a genie, I guess, because I'm the one doing all my work. So I want your
There
genie.
you go. There you go. Hey, you just twinkle your little nose. Hi, Sue. Hi. Tabitha Stevens was my first idol on TV. I wanted to be able to twinkle my nose and make stuff happen.
Yes.
That's what I grew up to be. So let me interrupt you just for a second to let's introduce Sue. Thank you so much for joining us, Sue. I know you're up in Maine. You're not in your own space. And did you bring a friend? Is there somebody you want to introduce to us? And how are things going up there?
Well, so far so good. We got here.
That's good.
That's always a good thing, arrive safely. And we set up tomorrow and then sell on Saturday.
Awesome. I'm going to come back to you at the end of this and have you tell us a little bit more about what you're doing there and how we can support you.
I don't know how good this was.
Huh? Okay. And then, after Joanne's done, and because I'm already interrupting the flow of what she was doing, but Joanne, would you bring Sue up to speed on her personal year? Sue, what's your month and date of birth?
Sure will.
And she froze.
I know Sue's a Scorpio, so she's 11. Yeah, she's 11. I just can't remember what the actual day is because I've done her numbers before.
Gotcha.
So she's a November baby. So once she comes back, she'll give us that information. So until she does come back, in regards to once we actually do know our numerology personal energy year, it helps us to understand the astrology aspects a little bit more because the numerology changes every year. Whereas when we look at our natal chart, the information stays the same, but when we have planets in retrograde, that's where we have this moment of where we get to learn. We get to literally heal. I'm going to use the word, go through our darkness so we can heal and transform and use the power of this powerful navigation to help us get to where we're going. So, Gail, do you want me to dive into the specific retrogrades, the specific zodiac sign, and then just go across the room to see where everybody is, if they know where they're, let's say we'll focus on, which sign would you like to focus on? Let's go there. This way here, we could do that.
All right.
Which sign would you like to focus on?
Let's see. Which ones are going or in retrograde? Do you want to start with Mercury? I know we've got Jupiter, we've got Pluto.
Yes.
Right?
Well, yes. To start off with, we have Pluto, we have Saturn, Mercury, and then two of them have not gone retrograde just yet. That's at the end of the month, which will be Jupiter and Neptune. So being that we're all really aware of Mercury, I think it might be a good idea to understand where Mercury sits in each one's chart.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So if both CJ and Sue, if they've had an opportunity to check out their natal chart, if they can let us know where what sign Mercury sits in on their chart and also house, because those two things will help me.
Okay. While CJ goes and puts the info in to get that generated, Sue, do you already know yours? No?
I don't. I really don't.
And
I'm pretty sure Joanne sent me a thing, but it's home and I'm not.
Gotcha. Okay, so we'll work with CJ's, and while CJ's doing that, we'll work with mine.
There you go. Perfect. What's yours?
Okay. So my Mercury is in Libra in my 10th house.
Okay, so hold that thought. It's going to take a little bit because I got to look at my notes. So your Mercury is in Libra, and because Mercury right now sits in Gemini energy. So that's the true focus here. We have to focus on where it's at, and then we're going to focus personally on Gail's Mercury in Libra. So Gail's Mercury in Libra. So we're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that puts Mercury in your 9th house energy, which is all about transformations, all about things dying off. I'm sorry. Confusion. Not about that. Rewind. I got excited. 9th energy stuff is about travel. Travel. 9th energy stuff is about traveling, wanting to expand. And when we think about wanting to expand, now remember, because this is in Mercury retrograde right now, so these are things that's going to be in your mind to want to do, not recommended to actually do right now. It's a reflecting, you're thinking about wanting to travel. So as Mercury starts to go direct, you may very well find yourself in that space of traveling. Expansion is taking place.
Let me stop you just for a second. So then right now, these urges that I get, like I need to take a trip to Michigan, now is kind of the loose planning time. It's not the time to buy the tickets. It's the time to go, okay, where do I want to go? What do I want to do? And what's my budget going to be?
Exactly.
All like thinking. Go ahead.
Exactly. And I also want to put a flip to that. If for whatever the reason were, let's say hypothetically speaking, you got a unexpected business invitation to travel, and you did, because it's in your, it's literally where it sits in your chart, and you decide to go, and you had to buy the ticket. You may run into some complications regarding purchasing the ticket, or traveling may be a little inconsistent in reference to the timing and everything. And that's what Mercury will do, because you're going against what they say, you're going against the energy. But now, if this was all pre-planned before Mercury went retrograde, then everything would be easy peasy.
Yeah, because even buying the tickets would be a continuation of what it's begun before Mercury retrograde. It wouldn't be a new beginning and trying to run from it.
Exactly. So the key component here is knowing your chart and being able to plan ahead. So if there were a business trip that showed up, you would already have planned ahead to do this, let's say 2 weeks beforehand or 3 weeks beforehand, so things would run a little more smoothly for you, because that's where it sits in your chart. But if you decided out of the blue, well, I'm getting the itch to want to travel, and you do it right then and there, because again, some of the things when we talk about Mercury that are so-called no-nos are traveling, buying anything that's a big purchase, signing contracts. So if you're going to be sitting across the table with a new partner and you're expecting them to sign a contract with you, they can sign it. But just be aware that once Mercury goes direct, you're going to have to come back and review that contract, because there's going to be a lot of things that were misunderstood in that contract based on the other person's chart as well. Does that make sense?
And as you say that, I got to wonder, because I'm a big fan of the MCU. Maybe you guys are, maybe you aren't. But there's a couple of people, Gina Carrero for one, and Brie Larson, that I would actually love to look back and see when did they sign their contracts, right? Because they're amazing people. Disney's amazing, all this stuff. And then there's just complication after complication for both of them.
Exactly. In fact, if you go back and look at, like you're saying regarding businesses, should a business have opened during a Mercury retrograde, that business may find themselves having a lot of complications because of the fact of opening during a Mercury retrograde. Now, again, if they started this contract, started this conversation way before Mercury went retrograde, then things may run smoothly because it's already in action. So the key component is during these 3 weeks of Mercury retrograde, these are things that you really do not want to do. However, a lot of your astrologers will say that if you have to do it, you have to do it. I mean, think of a person who runs a business going 3 weeks where they don't sign any contracts. They're not going to do really good in business if they just stop signing contracts for 3 weeks. But they also have to be aware that there's a good possibility that during that 3-week period, there may be some reevaluating once Mercury goes direct, because there might be some confusions. So it's not necessarily about you can't do it. It's just being mindful that you might have to come back and sort of review again because you did do it during a retrograde.
Yeah, that makes sense. Again, as you were thinking, my brain is like popping off and stuff. And I'm thinking, oh my God, the NFL draft. What if Mercury was retrograde during the NFL draft? We would have a season with a lot of stories about people in Vegas getting, in trouble. And, I wonder, it makes me want to go back and look at when did they sign their contracts for certain players? Because it's like,
exactly. In fact, it's a funny story about Mercury retrograde. A client of mine was supposed to be born literally on a day that Mercury went retrograde. However, his mother actually gave birth 3 weeks after Mercury went direct. 3 weeks after. It delayed her 3 weeks of giving birth. 3 weeks because of that retrograde. So he would have been
better send his mother flowers every freaking month.
Yeah, he would have been born on the retrograde, but it was a delay 3 weeks later, and then he was born after it went direct. So that's how intense these retrogrades can actually be, where it does either delay or causes conflict. I'm sure she was in a lot of pain for those extra 3 weeks.
Yeah, I can only imagine. All right, CJ, did you find out where Mercury is in your natal chart?
So I don't know how to read this, but I can show you what came up if you can see it.
Okay, good. Let's see. Lift it up a little bit. Can you read that?
I hope you're not expecting me to read it because I can't see it.
No, I'm trying to get close enough to read it. Gosh. All right. So wait. So, okay, you've got 3 columns there. I'm gonna kind of read it from my own, right? So that I can, because the structure is the same, right? Stop laughing at me, girl.
I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing at the fact that CJ is actually pulling her phone to you.
I love it. Okay, so Mercury is in Virgo in your 9th house. Look at that phone and see what I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. I can see it.
Right?
Yeah.
Right, so it's Virgo, 9th house. So hold that door, CJ.
Awesome.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so CJ, that puts Gemini, your Mercury, because it's in Gemini, in the 10th house for you, which is all about your structure, cooperation, traditions, public image. And that's highlighting. I'm highlighting that because I'm hearing to say that to you. Public image, fame. This is your time. This is your time to shine. Even though it's Mercury retrograde, this is your time to shine. This is your time to reflect back on how you showed up in the past, what worked for you, and what would you like to change. But the changes are about reflecting on them now, but not implementing the change now. Implementing them once we go into Mercury direct. So this is allowing you to really focus in on your fame, your public image, and your achievements and honors, and how you show up and how you want to show up once Mercury goes direct. So also be aware of that, because people are going to be paying attention to you due to Mercury retrograde because of that 10th house energy. You're gonna be like the it person for right now. So you want to make sure you're showing up in the correct order, so to speak.
Yeah.
Does that make sense for you, CJ? Does that empower you to know what to do in the next few weeks?
Yes, because there's a lot of things that have been going on that kind of is already speaking to what's going on in my life right now, and some things that I've been taking on personally and knowing about my public image and things like that. So it all makes sense right now, and this month is a very big and important month for me. So yeah, thank you.
Awesome. Okay. So Mercury sounds pretty good. Sue and Tracy have weak signals, and they are watching and listening on where it's distributed to on Facebook. And Tracy's like, I can hear all the words now. This is great. So we're gonna move forward, just working with CJ's and my natal charts, right? And Sue and Tracy, I really want you both to. I'm looking at my other monitor when I look over to the side. I want you both to reach out to Joanne with these planets and where they are in your natal chart, because I want you to have just as much value as CJ and I are getting out of this training. Okay.
Definitely. And if they want to just message me the which zodiac sign and which house that Mercury's in, and whatever else we discuss here today, I'll be more than happy to share that information with them. And if they even need to do a one-on-one Zoom with me, I'm open to that too.
Awesome. All right. So we've got 20 minutes left in our hour, and at least 3 more planets that are actually in retrograde right now, let alone the 2 that are going into retrograde. So let's just keep moving forward and work on the next planet in line. And that would be?
Why don't we go with Pluto? Because Pluto is, as I like to call it, an intense one, because it does involve dealing with repressed fears and carrying on regarding our success. So if we have any fears, Pluto is going to bring those fears up. So we might want to know what area it's going to bring those fears up to.
Right?
Yeah. So again, for both of you, and of course, Tracy and Sue, who's watching, and all of our other viewers who are watching, look up your chart, see where Pluto is, and let me know the house and zodiac sign it's sitting in.
Awesome. So Pluto is in Libra in CJ's 10th house.
All right.
I love that you can read that, because I'm like, I just see a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, and it's all out of alignment, isn't it?
Yeah, so
I also want to make a note that
I can't read this.
Yes. I also want to make a note that Pluto is retrograde in Capricorn energy. So we have an understanding to where it's actually retrograde in. So, and for CJ, yours is in Libra, you said, yes?
Yes.
Okay, so one sec. So CJ, your Pluto, and I say yours because it's yours, your Pluto is sitting in your 4th house. 4th house is all about family, home, the foundation, your literal foundation, where you live, how, and also your body, your foundation with your body, how you take care of your physical body. And it's also associated with your mother, the relationship you had with your mother, the relationship you have with yourself as a mother, the relationship you see others as mother figures. So, and that's the theme for you. 4th house, family, home, your physical body, and your relationship with your mom, and also you as a mom yourself, how you see yourself as a mother. And looking at that and where those fears may show up and what needs to surface in reference to anything that's, like I like to say, is old, it's got cobwebs on it. What can you let go of during this Pluto retrograde? Does that resonate for you, CJ?
Yeah, it does, because I've got 2 kids in college right now that have, that are struggling with some things, and I'm wondering, did I do the right thing? Did I raise them to, the right way so that they could live their own lives. And, it's summertime, they're supposed to be home, but both of them chose to live somewhere else instead of come home. So I struggled with that. I was like, well, what did I do wrong? That they didn't want to come and stay home with me. But then again, I was like, oh, hey, yay. I don't have to cook. I don't have to clean. So I'm not lying, So the fear that, well, what did I do wrong as a mother? But, I have to realize that I should be proud that they're, living their lives. So definitely spot on.
That is the double-edged sword, isn't it, CJ? Yeah. It's like if I'm successful, I've raised you to live without me, and then it's like, where are you going? Come back!
He said, "Why don't you want to be here? What's wrong?"
That, and when you say family, I was very public about my little dog getting on Mother's Day being paralyzed, and he's. He's got such a good spirit. He's teaching all of us that, this dog, literally, you can't put him on the floor to put his sling on because he takes off and he's still paralyzed. I'm like,
he's dragging his butt.
It waist down. He's paralyzed, but he's just going. And my husband was telling me he doesn't feel sorry for himself. Like, they do not feel sorry for themselves. Animals just go. And it's teaching me so much about myself and my, mental health and physical health problems that I've had, that I had felt sorry for myself for so many years, but now I'm not, because I'm learning through him. So this is kind of spooky right now. I'm going to mute myself and freak out over here real quick. Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Yes. And as you mute, I just want you to pay attention to what I'm going to say to you, CJ. In regards to what I just shared with you and what you just shared with us, I believe that it will also give you some confirmation regarding what you experience with your dog. And we're going to focus here on your dog and not your kids for the moment, because I think with your dog's experience with his surgery, that was a big thing for you. But now, knowing what you know about the retrograde, with Pluto's retrograde, which is actually taking place at the same time that you were experiencing what you were experiencing with your fur baby, from my point of view, it makes so much sense now. Do you agree that it's literally something that was in alignment to your experience and a lesson you needed to learn from this experience?
Yeah, absolutely. Because it was his resiliency that made me basically stand back up and start taking back parts of my life that I was sitting down and letting it control me. And I didn't even think twice. The vet told me, you've got to, he has to have surgery in the next 48 hours or he'll never walk again and he may lose his life. And I said, where's it at? Give me the address. He said, it's 6 hours away. And I just drove. I told my husband, I said, give me all the cash you have on hand because it's expensive. I don't know how much. And in the end, it was almost 10 grand that we've spent to make sure everything. We've had to modify our house, our lives. And it was just go. And I just been sitting back thinking for over the past, it's been 24 days. I just counted it out earlier today that I cannot believe in 24 days, that he's just acting like that nothing's wrong with him. And I'm going, I don't know. It's just hard to explain. I've learned so much in the past 24 days. My whole life has changed. Yeah.
Exactly. And this is a perfect example to why knowing and understanding our natal chart is so helpful, because if hypothetically CJ would have had this information beforehand, she would have known that in her chart there was going to be something regarding her family. Now, of course, in the chart, it's not going to specifically say it's going to be her fur baby, but it would specifically give her an idea that there would be something going on in her family that had to do with some hidden fear, some hidden concern regarding Pluto's retrograde. And that's why this is so important to know that when we have this information, we can already know ahead of time, and it can prepare us to eliminate the anxiousness and the worry that goes with it. And it helps us to be more sort of in control of the situation, where we're calmer and we can make better decisions without being overly anxious. And this is one of the reasons why it's so important to know our natal chart. Mm-hmm. So thank you, CJ, for sharing. I appreciate that.
I want to interject as well that family does not necessarily mean biological DNA bloodlines.
Exactly.
Right? Family is, many adults have a chosen family. Their family of origin put them through the proving fire, if you will, and then they get to choose who are the people that are around them and have their back, right? And that includes four-legged furry people,
Exactly.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So I know you get that, Joanne or CJ and Joanne, but I wanted to put that out there because when we're looking at our charts and it says family, my Akita is part of my family, right?
Exactly.
If
Exactly.
she died, we would grieve, right? If
Yes.
she was hurt, we would do everything necessary to take care of her, just like CJ did, like she was a child I gave birth to, right?
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
when we're looking, just make sure that you understand that it's not just about bloodlines.
Yes.
Your
Yeah.
family is those people that you've taken into your heart.
Exactly. And everything that CJ learned through this experience was something that CJ needed as part of the experience for her to learn something about herself and even to get her back to doing maybe some of the things that, for whatever her reasons are, to why she stopped doing them. So we with knowing this information gives us our lessons, gives us the tools that we need to know. And without that experience, she would not have had these lessons, these tools for that matter. So this is another reason to be mindful of whatever experiences that one is going through, to recognize what we learned from it. And CJ obviously did, because she pointed out the things that she learned from that experience.
Yeah, I'm very hard-headed, very hard-headed. So I didn't start doing the things that scared me until I was diagnosed with stage 3 COPD and then skin cancer. And then I started living my life. I became an author. I did all the things that I was scared of, right? And then I let my health go a little bit awry because I started gaining all the weight and things like that because of the depression set in, because now I've got these life-threatening illnesses. But I was doing things that I loved. So I went up in weight, and I couldn't move a lot. And now with him paralyzed, I have to take care of him and I have to do so much, but I have more movement now. So it's like, I'm one of them people that literally you have to kick the crap out of in order to make me do what I need to do. So Pluto basically just kicked my ever living butt and says, here, get off your butt and do something, girl.
And also, too, your dog has actually taught you how resilient he is in regards to, here he had surgery 24 days ago. And as you said, you put him down to put his harness on and he's looking to run. He's not looking to be still. So as humans, we can actually learn a lot from our pets in regards to these things that slow us down. Don't necessarily really have to, if we can build in the resilience that our fur babies have. So I'm sure you learned a lot from him.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. All right. So I'm excited to hear where we're working with Pluto for me.
Yes. Where are you on yours, Gail?
My Pluto in my natal chart is in Virgo in my 9th house.
Virgo, and we're looking at Capricorn. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, yours is in your 5th house. And 5th house energy is all about playfulness. Playfulness, romance, drama, self-expression, creativity. Yes, and a lot of fun, playfulness.
Remind me again why I agreed to do this publicly.
Because you're a brave soul. Yes, yes. So because of it being in the Pluto energy, it's going to amplify, it's going to magnify how you, and I remember you saying this, I believe, on one of your woo-woo shows, in regards to, maybe you said this, or maybe I'm premeditating you said this, in regards to that, you become more playful during retrogrades. Do you remember you saying that, or am I like premeditating this?
No, you're not. I love you, darling, but you got an editor to your upper left, and you got me to your upper right, and this is not premeditation.
Okay, good.
But I get what you're trying to say, and yes, you're not imagining it. I do tend to get more fun during Mercury retrograde, during retrogrades in general. I feel
Yes.
more free. But the one I was actually specifically talking about was Saturn retrograde, because Saturn is all about rules and regulations and keeping you in place with shame and guilt. And when Saturn goes retrograde, I'm like, all bets are off. Party. I can do whatever the hell I want and no guilt.
Yes. So being that this is sitting in the Pluto retrograde for you, this is going to amplify that. So you might really find yourself, whereas normally you may not be as playful, where this retrograde might actually bring that up. It may bring it up. It's all about your self-expression. You may find yourself joking around more with people, not being so serious, and that's going to be the energy Pluto shows up for you. It's also about drama. It's also about that this energy may very well make something that's tiny really, really big for you. So it might cause explosions for you where it may, in a normal circumstance, it wouldn't. So be mindful of that as well.
When did Pluto go retrograde?
That started up April 27th, and that will stay until October 6th. So we have a little while.
Yeah, we do. Alrighty then. Okay, so the next one, because yes, this absolutely nails it. I'm not going to tell anybody why, but yeah, okay, we're good. We're moving on. And so we did Mercury, we did Pluto, and now we're on to Saturn, which is my get out of jail free card.
Yes.
But let's do CJ's first. Where's your Saturn, CJ? Closer.
Is she going to show you her close up of her phone again?
Yes. So we got wait. Okay, Saturn is in Leo in the 9th house.
Okay, so Saturn in Leo, and Saturn is sitting in Aquarius energy, just so we all aware. So Leo, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's in her 7th house energy, which is associated with 777. Oh, partnerships. Did we not speak about that before? Partnerships, both business and personal relationships. This is about, which is really interesting, contracts. Now, remember earlier when I said that all the retrogrades eventually will come together and sort of connect to the theme. So it's not like you're going to have different areas in your life where you're going to have different themes going on. So this is a perfect example for CJ, where this is about partnerships, contracts, and whether it's personal or business. And that's what Saturn is going to focus on. Now, understanding when we think of Saturn energy, Saturn is associated with the karmic rebalancing. So this energy for CJ is going to help her to rebalance the contracts that she has personally and professionally. Helps to rebalance them. So you might be reviewing, especially based on your business aspects, you might be reviewing how you do business, and you might be revising your contracts. Does that resonate with you, CJ?
A little bit. I do a lot of collaborations, and I call them collaborations because I don't do contracts. I'm one of them people. Let's shake a hand and make a deal, and if you screw me over, you won't ever get a chance to do it again. That's just kind of how I do a lot of business. So it's very interesting that you say that. So yeah.
I love that. Yes, I love it. It's all about partnerships with CJ.
I love that.
Yes.
That is awesome.
And Gail, for
But
you,
that makes absolute sense with what she does. She publishes a lot of collaborative books. She edits people's writing. Yeah, it's all about partnership for the greater product or the
yes.
greater effect.
Yes, and using this time to review how it's been working for her, and anything that she needs to change during this time. This is a reflection period. This is time for her to start thinking about if she wants to change it and how she wants it to change too. So once Saturn goes direct, which will be, by the way, it will be Saturn will go direct October 11th. So once you do want to make those revisions, then you could do that after October 11th.
Awesome.
Got
awesome. All right, you were talking about my Scorpio?
So
Or what? What are we doing?
Gail, for you, is that where your Saturn sits? It sits in Scorpio?
No, actually, Saturn sits in Aries in my 5th house.
All right. Aries in your 5th house. Let's see where you are. Aries. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11th house for you, that the Aquarius, the Saturn Aquarius is sitting for you. And what that basically means for you, it's all about friendships, groups. Oh, you're going to love this one. Technology, videos, electronics, networking. So all of this, again, is basically about rebalancing it. And that's what the Saturn energy is going to do for you. It's going to rebalance. It's going to bring more balance into those areas. And
when did Saturn go retrograde?
Saturn started on May 23rd.
Perfect. Okay. Go ahead, please.
Does that resonate with you? Does that connect to something that that's been going on for you?
When did I switch this show from Fridays to Thursdays?
I think that was a couple, like 2 weeks ago, no?
Rebound.
And that would make sense because
technology.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. And networking. Literally. And networking. It didn't work for me or my family on Fridays. I moved it to Thursday, made the decision right around May 23rd, and boom.
There you go.
There you go.
I truly do love how this really does connect and resonates and make sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And I also want to make a note here in regards to when we think about these retrogrades in each of the zodiac signs. So we have Saturn in Aquarius. So anyone who has Aquarius, moon, sun, or rising sign is going to feel this Saturn energy more so than someone who does not have Aquarius in one of those 3 signs. The same way where, again, when we look at what was I going to say? Lost my thought there. Anyway, it's not important because I lost it. Now, when we think about the Saturn Aquarius of the sun, moon, and rising sign, the opposition sign is Leo. So those Leos are going to feel this as well. We all feel it collectively, but those who have that specific zodiac sign in their chart will feel this energy more so. And I just want to bring the attention to Pluto. Pluto is in Capricorn, so the opposition is Cancer. So again, if you have sun, moon, or rising, Cancer, you're going to feel this. Mm-hmm. And we spoke about Gemini, Mercury, which is in Gemini. In opposition of that is Sagittarius. So same thing goes, sun, moon, or rising sign. So many of us may very well be feeling this energy with more intensity, where many of us may not be feeling it as much, but they are still feeling it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. At least it does to me. It's like it's in the water, but those who taste sweet will taste it more than the general public, and those who taste bitter will taste it most of all. And
exactly.
Yeah, that was just something weird I pulled out of my head.
Yeah, it makes sense. I totally understood what you said. CJ, did you understand what she said? Did you get that?
You're muted, honey.
Okay, sorry. I was like, it sounded like you were spitting some Shakespearean poetry to me. I was like, what is going on here? I thought I was in a Shakespeare play real quick. I'm sorry.
No worries.
And Gail, it's so funny that I understood exactly what you said. Why is that?
You know, maybe it's because we both have a 3-year. We're attuned on a wavelength that you know, only a select few of society are.
Yeah. Yes. Shall we move on?
Yes, actually, let me interrupt you because I am absolutely loving this. But we are now at like 5 minutes after 5. So
Okay.
our time, we've used up all of our time today. I totally encourage CJ, Tracy, Sue, and all of our replay volunteers, viewers, please reach out to Joanne and talk to her about, you know, what this is going to mean for you. We've covered Mercury, we've covered Pluto, and we've covered Saturn as an example for both CJ and I, and you can see how it's going to show up differently for the two of us, right? Retrogrades are not, you know, they're not empowering when you generalize, right? It's like retrograde's bad. No, they're not bad. They're different. And when you learn how to use that energy of the retrograde, you can be empowered, even if you don't know what the fuck's going on. Like
Exactly.
CJ's been going through, right? Just stop being scared of different. It's not a regression, even though it's called retrograde. It's more that the Earth is catching up to that planet than the planet is moving backwards.
Exactly. And
Right.
it's a powerful time to really reboot ourselves on the overall. So it is very powerful.
Mm-hmm. So thank you, Joanne, very, very, very much for coming in and trying to put all of this information into such a short time span. I really appreciate it. I think that we've all gotten a lot out of it. CJ, how about you? Did you get benefit or value from this?
Yeah, I'll be calling Joanne up and booking an appointment because, I'm curious on a lot more stuff now. I was like, this is spot on. Yeah, very interesting stuff, and to understand it, I would love to understand it a lot more, not just get everything told to me, but I want to learn a lot more.
Awesome.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
you know, I love you so much and so appreciate your contribution to my life. And specifically today, thank you for your contribution to this particular show. I am utterly and eternally grateful. Thanks for being here. CJ, Tracy, Sue, you as well. Thanks for showing up. Thanks for, you know, like putting yourself out there and to learn something new. And thank you all for supporting each other in what we've got, you know, promoting out there, launching out there, that kind of stuff. Sue, since you've got a very limited signal right now, I invite you to please put into a post in the Tipsy and Tiara's group what you're doing out there and how we can support you, and we'll share that out. And because we won't be able to come back and actually talk to you about it. So, Joanne, any final words for us?
Yeah, final word is stay grounded, stay open, and know that you're being empowered during these times of retrograde.
Awesome. All right, ladies, thanks so much. Have a great weekend. Bye.
Bye-bye.